But couple creeping in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can feel the pressure getting. It felt like they had the game won, right? You already had one of the Raxes down middle. You're taking those last two bottom, and then you just overextend a little too much. And then we saw some of the Roche fights, like mind control, that one vacuum onto the hill, just slowing down the Roche fight. Liquid was just doing one by one little things, and they started adding up. And once you get to 25, the level 25 talents in that game, Meld, Bash It, and AoE Surge are completely game-changing.
I love the fact that you brought that up because Brian is waiting to explain exactly what happened in that turnaround. Brian.
A lot of people say that the graph of a Dota game says it all. And we're going to pull up the graph of that last game, and we're going to see here that LGD was looking clean the entire way. And we're going to pull up the clip of exactly when it turns in Liquid's favor. You guys talked about the high ground fights, but these aren't a sprint. These fights are a marathon. They have all their buybacks prepared for Liquid. And I can't even talk for the entire duration of this fight because it lasts such a long time. But they're going to get a lane of racks off of this on LGD. But Liquid, backs against the wall, game 2, elimination, down by 13,000 gold, 37 minutes in the game. And LGD looks like they're going to get scot-free here. They take the lane of racks. You're going to see here that they retreat. And what's going to end up happening here is Chalice is going to look to reinitiate on Centaur. And I don't know about reinitiating into 2 buybacks already from Team Liquid. And this is the beginning of the end, I would say, for LGD, as they get what looks a good counter initiation onto the Rubik, but he has buyback as well. And this is just showing how hard it is to end these games and why heroes like Huskar have kind of fallen out of favor in this meta, just because one little fight like this, no matter how good the game has been going, suddenly what ends up happening after this fight is Liquid chases them down, LG on the retreat, and even though Liquid lost a lane of racks, they're going to get a Roche off of it, and the entire pace of the game goes in their favor. And that one fight is enough to show that, like, even though that was the turning point, the rest of the game is just smooth sailing for Liquid.
There was an upward curve after that. Thank you very much, Brian. Yeah, we'll discuss the Huskar pick because it's an interesting pick for PSG. Probably not something Liquid thought would happen at the start of the draft. They said they did at the end of the draft, which is fine. Nahaz was actually looking at the stats between TI and Huskar, and surprisingly, perhaps, Huskar doesn't have a particularly good time, statistically speaking.
Yeah, I think that a lot of those were going to be the old Huskar, where he didn't have the disarm, and the old TA, where TA actually had a better lane. You could deny creeps using the refraction damage, so the matchup theoretically should be more one-sided. No. Doesn't really necessarily look that way. At least, I mean, it's very early game. Huskar, sure. I mean, can't mention the first 30 minutes.
I mean, I think he played it really well as well. There was several in that clip that Brian was showing where he's poking in and out all the time. He's taking the lane of racks. He's doing really well. He survived so many times. I think I said to Gods, like, what's that? Like the 6th time he's gone in and got out with like 100 health? He keeps like a Houdini back in and out. Eventually, he got caught out, though.
Yeah, that was, there was a lot of incredible plays on both sides. Both Sandes and Ame doing really good jobs with their heroes. Ame had some incredible armlet toggles throughout that game. But Weeha, I think, you know, just a shout out to him at being able to endure such a hard early game. Yeah. And, you know, once you're able to start making those changes, first it's the BKB, the game changes for you. Then it's going to be, maybe the MKB helps you out against the Halberd that you're going to be matched up against, but the level 25 talent really secures. TA, she gets a fresh breath of life, where she used to be considered like, oh, eventually she's going to fall off in the late game. But when you give any carry their own disable in their toolkit, they're going to be incredible, and that's what happens to Templar Assassin late game. And sure enough, PSG LGD, I mean, I like this. I like that this is going to Game 3, not just because of the full series, but because it establishes well the narrative, right? That a lot of people would look back on last year and say PSG LGD, they should have won upper bracket finals. They should have won the grand finals. They made mistakes. The pressure got to them. And the same thing happened in this game too. And will the same thing happen again in Game 3? Will it happen in the grand finals? Who knows? But this is an opportunity for LGD to be able to rectify the mistakes of the past.
Okay, let's check in with some statistics. First of all, the MVP for this particular game. You have been voting in your droves for the MVP for game number 2. It's not FY this time round. He won game 1. It's Miracle, upwards of
was in their hands.
Sure.
And they made the mistakes. Chalice particularly jumping in, reinitiating. Even when they're pushing the bottom lane, he's also the one who jumped in, forced a fight that they didn't need to force.
Yeah.
So very much so. Yeah, this to me, that game was PSG LGD jumping ahead of themselves. Also, I think some bad itemization as well on Lifestealer particularly. So
do Liquid do it that way? Do they look at it and go, well, we got a bit lucky, guys, let's take advantage of that now? Or do they think, actually, we play really well, we played for the late game, we got it?
I think they worked hard to be able to force mistakes out of LGD, frustrate them as much as possible, and when that mistake was finally made 2 different times in going high ground, they capitalized on it really well. They punished those mistakes, and you know, I feel like a little bad for Chalice, because I feel like if they don't walk away winning this series, a lot of people are going to look to him, and he had such a fantastic game 1 and game 2.
Yeah.
Like game 2,
His early
he played
game,
very
yeah.
well.
30 minutes.
But it goes to show just like these little decisions, like just one moment in time can make everybody look at your game as just awful. And
so
you know,
cool.
that mid lane engagement, for example, he had a Lifestealer inside of him. That's not necessarily just all Chalice who's making that call, right? But he's the one who has to be the one to blink forward, and as a result, he's going to get a lot of the flack for it.
That won't matter if they win Game 3, though. All would be forgiven, I'm sure, by the LGD fans, who consequently are with Casey and Slacks right now. Well, Casey and Slacks are with LGD. Whatever. Guys, are you enjoying yourselves?
We are, but I think we are here to help re-energize the crowd, give some words of encouragement, right? Yeah! Okay, what did you think of the first couple of games?
It just, you know what's cooking? Boom!
Very nice.
Very nice, Liquid.
Liquid.
Very nice.
Oh, okay.
But I want LGD to win.
Okay, all right, I like it. You're just lounging over here. What are you doing? Is he hurting anybody? No.
We are all our strengths can hold him.
Yes, I like it.
All right, guys. Yeah, I got taught stuff before. We need the crowd to get energized for LGD. Can we do it one more time? What was that again?
LGD! Dong, dong, dong! LGD! Dong, dong, dong! LGD! Dong, dong, dong!
Well, it looks like the crowd is ready for LGD to take another one. We're going to see what happens, though, Casey. Tough times. Scary times.
Especially talking to you, yes.
Absolutely.
Scary times.
Thank you very much, guys. You look like you're having some fun out there with the LGD people anyway. They'll be doing a lot of cheering, I'm sure, in game number 3 to get behind their team, who have fallen to 1-1 right now and just one game away from playing in the grand final at the International. No small matter, of course. I mean, whatever.
just for these
just
teams,
the odd one game.
they've all done it before, you know. No big deal, Paul.
Easy, Christ, my heart's thumping when I think about that. I don't know what they go through backstage in between these games. Just, you know, do they mentally? Do you think they actually stand there and they go, "We're one game away, guys. Like we can do this," or or is it more like, "Guys, don't talk about it. Forget about it. Don't think about the match. Just play the game." Which way would you guys prefer to be?
I feel they definitely say, like, don't think about it, whatever, but in the back of their mind, they're like, oh my goodness,
But
it's
as
a
soon as they
BO.
do that,
It's a
they're
BO1.
thinking
Yeah,
about it,
exactly.
right?
Oh no, it's a BO1. We might get meatboat or something. Like it's in the back of your head at that point now, because it's just one game, and who knows? It's a lot of money.
I'll tell you, I'll be honest. I'm a choker, so I would much rather have as
It's just a
little
pub
pressure
game.
as possible on me.
Cap, it's just
I
a
would
pub
just
game.
be like, hey, you guys are just going to go out,
Yeah, it's
you're
just
going to have
pub.
a fun time
It's
playing a
just
pub.
Yeah. It's
Grant,
fun.
are you a choker?
Nah.
You played competitively?
Nah, I
You
was
pulled
pretty
through?
good. You know, I was always a support player who just died and played Sword, so I knew the blame was never on me.
God?
I get very nervous. My very first LAN final I played in Australia, my legs were shaking the entire
You don't
game.
strike me as a nervous guy when you play. I always
I
think
don't
of you as super calm.
I was like the captain of my team. Everyone's looking at me. I'm just like, I'm shaking. And they're just
Really?
like, oh, shit, we're going to lose. they didn't tell me at the time, but afterwards, we actually won. They were just like, wow, I can't
They're
believe we
looking
won.
to you for inspiration. And they look over, they're like, this quivering wreck. Oh, God, we're going to lose.
There's a reason I'm not playing up on this TI stage, Paul, let me tell you.
It's tough however you look at it, isn't it? For both sets of players now, you know, PSG have got that nervous kind of, oh, God, we lost the game we perhaps should have won. Liquid, on the other hand, are kind of like, we've been given a second life, guys. Just enjoy it, go out and play. Could be either way, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could also be Liquid like, oh, maybe we should have lost. Maybe LGD's the better team. Oh, God. The dread starts sinking in. It all just comes down to, I think a lot of it is, I think draft for the third game in a series is always so scary.
Right,
because you never know where you're going to get that last pick, and that's where
it's
like a lot of that.
Are we going to get Meepo'd? Are we going to get Bruce? Something like that.
So
Crazy.
much emotion goes into that last pick, and like, oh God, do we believe in our drafts? Are we going to be able to pull this out? Do they have an advantage? Is this a 70-30 just based off of draft? You know, there's so many things like that could happen.
Yeah, because both teams did it, right? You had a TA, which I saw one other game, and then you had a Huskar. Like neither hero have been played like at all this tournament, and they just decided to pull it out on the loser bracket finals.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what they've got for the third and final game, doesn't it?
I'm
sure they've got something, right? I was going to say, is it going to be something crazy like a clock?
No, they probably want to win.
Poor Clockwork. Poor Clock. I think it's time we get our teams back out here into the arena as well. For game number 3, if you're just joining us, welcome to the International 2019, the lower bracket final. We're all tied up at 1-1 between Team Liquid and PSG LGD. The entrance to the arena, back in front of the adoring Chinese fans, pinning their hopes on LGD becoming first-time TI winners. Or are we going to get an all-TI final? TI final. You know what I mean by that? They've all played in the TI final before. Yeah. I had to clear that one up though. So it's a mildly confusing statement. As these gents will get themselves settled, we'll get some more thoughts in just a moment from our intrepid crew here on the panel. But first of all, let's check in with LGD as they spoke to Casey pre-tournament.
那去年的 DPC 排行榜，老干爹是排在了第6。你们对于去年一整年自己的发挥和这个成绩还满意吗？
就我个人而言的话，对自己一整年的发挥都不满意吧。然后整个队伍的状态，就是可能因为一些之前的影响，就肯定是整体来说都不太好嘛。
感觉每个比赛都没有发挥好吧，打得不是很好。今年一整年都就一般吧，打的。
那其实感觉这一整年很多选手都有比较大的进步。那你们是否觉得在 TI 8之后，心态上面有没有一些什么进步？
心态肯定进步了呀。
这一整年其实挺难熬的，对吧？那有没有一些比较开心的瞬间？
要说的话，应该是 VG 夺冠的瞬间吧。我们是 VG 老粉，
我是 V 坤，
是 VG 夺冠，我们很开心。
替 VG 开心。虽然去年一整年都很难熬，最难熬的时候是什么时候？
有一段时间 maybe 就逃了，回去结婚了，我们非常非常难熬。
就是在队伍人员不整齐的时候，就会觉得稍微有点难熬一点。但其实那个 Major 你们打的成绩还可以的。
是这样的，但当时就感觉还蛮有希望夺冠的。
查理斯一直在点头，你怎么看那段时间？
那罪魁祸首就是我，别说了。
主动背锅是不是？那问一下，去年有哪个人的哪句话让你至今还记得？
就是开始选人了，搬完了，准备1、2手选人了，他突然问了一句 FY， 这把炸不炸？就转头站，这把炸不炸？FY 就。
那其实老干爹虽然说拿了第6名，但是前面的5支队伍都是很强的队伍，你们是否还觉得自己依然是一支很强的队伍
？VG 最强嘛 ，VG 跟那个秘密独一档，我们就靠后。
我们在采访 VG 的时候，他们说跟老干爹打训练赛河道都过不去。
乱说了，我们
一看就是造谣。
对，我们一过河道就被他们5个人冲出来乱杀，我们就是训练被他们打个什么10比0这种很正常。
就我们的训练就是被 LGK 操盘，就是都在他掌控下，他想让我们输就让我们输，想让我们赢就让我们赢。就我们出发前 LGK 都特意来说了一句：“你们要谢谢我抬了你们一手，就没把你们打得很惨。”
事实上就是我们根本没怎么赢过他们，
真的很恐怖。
现在看到他们，我们都在发抖。
那再次来到 TI， 2个人是抱着什么样的心态过来的？
肯定是抱着一点积极一点的心态嘛，就不能说想着什么复仇这种，就是你要复仇你要向谁复仇嘛，还只能向 OG 啊。但是 OG 呢，怎么说呢
？OG 当然也很强
对 ，OG 当然也很强。反正就不能抱着这种心态，肯定要抱着一点正面一点的心态，就抱着这种负面的心态打比赛不太好。
我们在来之前看过一段 FY 的采访，他说他自己的心理预期是只要不拿第2名、第1名，其他任何几名都可以。你们怎么去看待？你的心理预期是什么？
没有什么预期吧，因为你有些队伍训练不到，然后你对那几个队伍评估也不太确定。认真来说的话，你也预期不了，但肯定就是越往上越好嘛。就 排名越靠前越好，肯定是想着去往冠军那边靠嘛。
那这次 TI 在中国不同于以往，除了好好打比赛，你们有没有一定要做的事情？
没有吧，打 TI 肯定就专心一点吧。
好，那我们也希望老干爹能够打好自己的，好吗？谢谢。
谢谢。
I'm mildly confused after that. Chalice said in that interview that his expectation for this TI is that they wanted to be closer to being champions. I'm not sure how much closer you can get losing 3-2 in the grand final last year to actually be champions, so they have to win it.
Sounds like it.
He's beat. Well, FY said he wants to get anything except second place.
First or third's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to see him finish third already. I'm already on board the FY train, and I know we've got a few of those in the talent room as well. Time to head in to game number 3.
PSG LGD versus Team Liquid. Game 3.
This series is going to decide who gets to play in the grand final, a $20 million series out of our $35 million prize pool. And really, this one's also very exciting because it's totally going to shape what that story looks like. I mean, right now, you know, LGD, they definitely had a tough year, but it still seemed like they're destined to take TI9 here in Shanghai. Are we going to see them get the rematch against OG, or will Liquid continue the longest losers bracket run in the history of TI? Kyle, I think when we watched that last game, it was pretty clear that LGD suddenly started to play with a little bit of hesitation.
Oh, for sure. You could see even just with the item choice, Lifestealer going Heart and Butterfly, no MKB, like you'd have no Abyssal, the damage output just slowed down, and in addition, they just didn't seem confident sieging the base. And if there's anything you gotta do at this level of Dota 2, it's play to win the game. Tidehunter first pick from Liquid, you got to look at Rubik as a follow-up from PSG LGD.
Yeah, Tidehunter, I want to talk about this hero because between these two teams, they are 7-0 with Tidehunter at the main event. So what better hero, I think, for Liquid would you want to going into the game decider?
Yeah, and you mentioned Rubik, Kyle. I know that this is a hero that is definitely always a talking point up here at TI, one of the most picked heroes of all time. Hello, Rubik. No stranger to this guy, and also you were talking about how important he really was in game 2.
Of course, we talked about transcendent players, and after the first game, FY with an incredible performance, GH, no slouch, arguably even better, undefeated so far in this grand lower bracket final, and I am jittery right now. It feels like a grand final. Like we're all just watching on the stage. The crowd is going absolutely nuts.
Well, I mean, you just look at how huge this game really is. When you look at this team and how much pressure is going to be on them when you're in an arena filled with, what, I think it's 18,000 people here today watching LGD. This is who they want to win. If they don't make it, I think it's the first time since TI3 that there hasn't been a Chinese team in the grand final. It's a lot of pressure on these folks right now. I think it's pretty understandable how maybe we start to see TI4, Kyle. I think it's pretty clear how you can see that hesitation come into play. Kyle, stop holding up random numbers.
We've talked about the pressure, and we saw in the player cam before this game started that we was playing in a practice lobby, doing blink meld strikes with TA, and throughout the draft book, you know, just pick what you know you're going to play your best game on. And a hero that we've pretty much seen exclusively 9th, 10th this entire tournament, including the group stage, suddenly a first-round TA. Obviously very good against Rubik ET. Neither of those supports really threaten you that hard. You jump on ET in the back lines, which is like a really important thing to do when you have this ET counter initiation. But damn, to have the balls the first round of TA.
But this is what they did at their best performance at a major this year, right? Going back to Disneyland Paris. They were always comfortable just taking Wii's hero early on. He's a TA, a Wind Ranger, a Meepo, Tinker. These are his comfort heroes. And if you think about the rest of the Liquid lineup, Miracle and Mind Control have they are incredible at such a large array of heroes. I think that they're the ones that you would want to have that versatility that you get at the end of a draft.
Now, I also do want to talk about that stress that's coming into play. You guys obviously talk about being on a comfort hero, having that ease of execution in your back pocket as well. But let's just look at the tournament runs for these guys. Obviously, we have a lot of experience up on the main stage. Even when you look on the side of Kuro, the most games played out of any player in the history of TI. He broke 200, passed Puppy after eliminating him. I think Puppy only got to 198, so very, very close there. But you look at what their tournaments look like. LGD never really had the pressure on them. They had a fantastic run through the winner's side of the bracket. Liquid has been in the flames the entire tournament.
And this is a situation they've been in before.
Yep.
They have been up against elimination in the lower bracket multiple times, and they know that at the end of that journey back at TI7, they were the inevitable grand champions. PSG LGD, it's a different story. Like, you don't have that same belief that in the end, maybe you'll persevere, you'll win that title. You don't have that same comfort that you've been there before. This is great. I think that the Rubik, though, you've got to be feeling good if you're FY. Like, if you're a PSG LGD fan, if you're just a Dota fan, if there was a hero you want to see him on in Game 3, it's this one.
And I just want to say that up until that last game, LGD's only 2 losses on the main stage were to Alchemist. And in your mind, maybe you think to yourself, maybe we just kind of give away this one hero. They felt kind of like you couldn't touch them. And up until that last game where they had, in our opinion, a draft advantage, they had all the momentum. This almost reminds me of Game 4 of TI8 Grand Finals, where it's in your hands. You're there. And suddenly...
Yeah. And, dude, that's a perfect point, because as you said, have been there. They were this close to winning TI. They were this close to making a second consecutive grand final. And it really, like, we thought it was over. It looked over. And just, if there's anything that kills you in this game, it's hesitation. It's the same in life. You've got to act. And just a couple minutes of mistakes, and all of a sudden, Liquid have a chance to come from behind in what would be one of the more incredible series turnarounds I've ever. They pick up the Rasta, one of the hard counters to Void. We saw Lion picked up by PSG LGD almost as a pre-counter pick, because you want to have those double lockdown Hex disable heroes to be able to kill 100-0 the elusive core.
Now, something that Kyle brought up even earlier in the draft is the idea once we get to this portion of picks and you see that third pick get locked in.
Oh,
wow, that's big.
Jesus, into TA, BSJ.
This matchup isn't nearly as bad as it used to be since the refraction doesn't work on denies anymore, but I just love it, man. They're just like, give me my best hero. I'm going to style. I feel like SF, out of all the heroes in the mid lane, is I'm going to style on you. That's exactly what he's going to say, and I couldn't imagine going out any better way or making it to the grand finals any better way.
I was going to ask with the third picks what it looked like they wanted to do to win, what win conditions they were trying to shape up. Now we're going to have a whole lot of information, Kyle, and actually get to peer into what they're trying to put together.
So Liquid have this cool concept coming together. You've got tools to acquire vision with the TA traps. You've got massive team fight both to initiate and the combo breaker now with the Wyvern. You can be able to heal a target that gets chronoed and potentially Wyvern ulti through BKB to just deal with the PSG LGD team fight. They also have the initiator of the Rasta, so it's a very balanced composition. PSG LGD, I think PSG said it best, like, this is a lineup built to style on you. The maybe SF, the FY Rubik, like Ame Void, like these are heroes in the top 3 for these players on every single position.
You talk about styling on them. Is this the game that you want to come out and try to style after you just looked like you were hesitating?
Hey man, it's like Kobe said, doesn't matter how many shots I miss, I still want the ball. That's what a champion's mentality is.
What TI did he play in?
I played in a couple more, I'd say, financially important tournaments than TI, but
that's not true.
That's actually false.
Are you crazy?
Hey, you know,
it's the largest tournament in the history of esports. Dota's been around for 16 years. This is still the biggest it's ever been.
I'm not going to touch that one, Kyle. But I just want to say that if you still have the confidence, like I don't think the way to the solution to losing your confidence in game 2 is to suddenly hesitate on your picks. At least if you go out there and say, I am going to play this hero to the fullest that I can, and like this is my favorite hero to play. I think game 5 of last year's TI Grand Finals said that the most about OG's lineup. None of them were counter picks. None of them were straight up just, this is the best hero for the game. This is my best hero for the game. And I do want to say that LGD, I like the way that each team is playing fights here. You pick the Void against Tide so that you can initiate through the Kraken Shell. Then you pick the Wyvern to save the Tide. Yep. And now you have a second hero that's willing to get chronoed. TA has Blink, so she's hard to be chronoed. It's a very hard Void game.
They needed that last pick to be something that could get down and dirty in the team fight. Now you have a Wraith King that can tank the chrono. One of the better counters to SF as well, because as you respawn, that damage reduction on the SF ulti would be negated. It disappears once you respawn. And now I honestly don't know what the last pick is here for PSG LGD. It's a tough spot.
Hey, I mean, you look at this final pick from Liquid, it's basically budget Alk, right? I think that's one of the, and when you know how strong Alk has been in this current meta, even the budget version, it's going to do just fine.
Yeah. You've got a couple point-and-click stunts and the huge team fight heroes, the Wyvern side. They're covered now. They can play more leisurely on the outskirts of the fights. It's much harder for the PSG LGD heroes to find them in the back lines. And you've got to think this is an Ame Void, but it is possibly Chalice's hero. He's been on point in this series so far. 30 seconds left.
I know it's in a tie, but how crazy to just do the signature Chalice Batrider, right? Like, I know we haven't seen him much, but like it's really good against everything but the Tide. It lanes well. Okay, we go for the Darkseer.
All right. Really cool.
You like this, Biache?
It's more team fight. It makes Chronos easier to play. You have like this team fight aura builder now. Previously, none of their cores or supports wanted to build these enabling items for the rest of their team, so I think it fits their draft well, and it's good against TA.
You've got better team fight on Liquid. PSG LGD had to find some way to ensure they would be able to find and take skirmishes. They don't necessarily want 5-on-5s, they want pickoffs. They don't want to have to use Chrono to get kills. This activates the Void so he can stick to a target without having to blow the big team fight cooldown.
Well, this is going to be the lineup for each team that is going to decide whether or not they're going to be able to make it to the grand final. This is going to be the game that will seal their fate, and the implications are huge as to what the story of TI9 is. Are we going to get that back-to-back champion? Are we going to see some new faces in this crowd here in Shanghai? Kyle, I'm gonna put you on the spot here based off of the draft. What's your prediction?
Oh God, I can't. I refuse to participate. All right, I have no idea. I just want to see another incredible game of Dota 2. You talk about storylines. PSG LGD, the last Chinese team remaining. We are here in China. They've got 20,000 people behind them. The booths are alive. This is one of those moments where win or lose, you're just happy you were here. And I know that whatever team ends up out of this, you're not going to feel in the moment. But this is something, kids are watching home dreaming about this. Yeah. You train your whole life to be here.
I can't be more happy that Kyle chose not to give a prediction because nobody at home wants to know what team is going to lose this best of 3. And I just want to say that there's so much team fight, wombo combo. I cannot wait to see this last game.
All right, the wombo combos may be coming on in. Before we get into the game, let's hear what Casey has to say.
All right, I want to ask you about the Shadow Fiend pick. The crowd went wild. It seems like a go big or go home kind of a pick. What can you tell us about that?
你们选了一个影魔嘛，然后当时观众也是沸腾了，然后就想看一下你选这个是出于什么考虑？
因为我们的影魔很自信可以打 TA， 然后觉得这版配合的就是比较好发挥。
Because we have a lot of confidence in our Shadow Fiend in going against TA, we feel that he is going to be able to really carry us in terms of combining with the rest of our lineup.
Thank you so much. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Confidence in the maybe SF, confidence in LGD. You would think it'd be shaken after game 2. Over 30,000 was actually it was a 60,000 swing. It was a 30,000 advantage that LGD had and lost.
Did they have 30K last game?
It was 30K last game. It was up a long way. Might have just been the experience, but it was definitely an advantage, pretty damn high. But here we go for game 3. Darkseer appears once again. It seems the only teams that are playing this, it's like you were telling, like OG played it and Liquid have played it, and now LGD played it. Only the top 3 have played it here at TI.
And that's the kind of thing it takes. If you want to get top 3, you need to be able to get creative. You need to be able to adapt, come up with new stuff, and execute it properly. And well, Chalice has definitely had some great Darkseer performances in the past, so he's no stranger to this hero. We were considering Batrider as well, similar to BSJ. We were talking about how that could also be a Chalice option. But they do want to have the better scaling teamfight aura carrying offlaner. And it's going to be the exact same lane as Liquid played last game.
I'm loving this between Mind Control and X-Nova. If it's a dodger round to get the 3rd bounty rune for Team Liquid, X-Nova will TP out. Mind Control will get a little extra information for that one. And we have ourselves, not an aggro train lane, FY, Rubik back again. We'll be down on the bottom lane to work with Mind Control, but Weeha, it's already opening up strongly from Somnus. Burn the Mango, don't care about the souls at the very beginning. Let's just beat the crap out of Weeha, who went side plates first, while Kuro, top lane, drops insanely low. And the CT Spirit, it loves defensive tri lanes.
He paid respect to Miracle there. He was worried about getting run down. Okay,
Here's your blast again. You have the Ether Shock, heavy amount of damage. Chalice, low on life this time around. He's not playing a hero with a huge stomp. He's got a hero with a huge amount of damage. X-Nova just stands his ground and wants to keep fighting. Ether shot's coming off cooldown in a second. Challenge hanging around, but Miracle, he's got another Raid Fire Blast to work with, and X-Nova will be brought down. Miracle in the safe lane is able to get first blood. And look towards his off-laner. That's Mind Control. Got himself a creep wave and a half. He's loving this. He's even going to drag it as far safe as possible because Arme is trying to bring his own creep wave and a half over. But the two shall not combine.
This is a lot of experience for MC. He's going to be grabbing it now. FY is doing the best he can to harass, but he will not be successful in forcing Mind Control away from this wave.
Problem is
bring it into tower.
Mind Control can't hold it between the towers, which is probably what he wanted to do. Just change the momentum of the wave. Arme has 3 waves on bottom lane. He's got 5-3 CS right now, but there's a lot more sitting down there waiting for him.
Yep. Now he needs to make sure he doesn't miss too many CS in the tower, but it's a very experienced carry player. They never miss CS.
Don't put that pressure. No. These guys are under enough pressure, Synderen. God, Weeha. Burning Sounds once again, 15-5.
He missed one.
Versus 7-0.
Sorry.
Such a...
Still all right, though. But yeah, clearly the big winner so far is Miracle. He got the first blood on the Wraith King, so he's that bit ahead. Looking good on the CS as well.
I'll say it'd feel very good for maybe. LGD were very confident having him in the lane. In fact, he gets a regeneration rune in the bottom river to boot. That's even better for him. But we've also seen Weeha having to play up against a Husker, gone jungle, slow recovery, wait for the right time to fight. And how do those fights actually look? The laning phase, it can be a little bit more passive for the moment after the first blood. How's the team fight meant to look if you're looking for the best one here from LGD?
I mean, the dream is obviously a vacuum into ET Stomp or a vacuum into Chrono, right? You have a couple of plays that revolve around this vacuum, but there's no clear, easy initiation apart from landing a Chronosphere, and at this level of play, it's hard to get good ones out of those. So that's definitely something LGD will have to think about. Maybe you go Yules on SF.
How do they play around things like the Winter's Curse?
Yeah, it's tough. I think the Winter Wyvern pick in this game is excellent, and you have to find either a solution where you get on the Wyvern or you have so much magic damage that whoever you Chrono ends up dying even through Cold Embrace. That's something Shadow Fiend is good at doing, at the very least. But it is definitely...
Imagine position.
I'd say level of execution required from LGD in this game. This is the hardest lineup to play that they've picked in this lower bracket final.
X-Nova dragging the creep wave. GH doesn't want anything to do with this. Be put to sleep quickly. Kuro is making his way over to Chalice. I'm seeing Shackles available because the stone's been used by X-Nova. Miracle can come over as well. He'll create the army of the minions, and Chalice wants to surge himself away. But it's already too late. Miracle finds the kill. There's a huge army coming his way too. Kuro, no other control, but down on bottom lane. The Tidehunter will go down as well. Is there another stun? There is. Miracle chalks up another one. 3 in total.
We should, however, remember that this is a tri-lane. We've seen this multiple times now by Liquid, where they start with a tri-lane, they get a couple of kills, but their supports need to be able to find levels afterwards, and you would imagine they don't stay as 3 up here much longer. Maybe GH is going to rotate and sit mid while TA plays mid. I think that would be a really good, or plays jungle. It would be a really good solution to just get GH some good levels onto that Wyvern.
Nice dodge of the stomp from GH, found that small little area. Go instantly into the Arctic Burn. Kuro does have Shackles available. I love how they're actually dragging the camp around the side, so if Nova wants to try and fight this, it's still going to be a little bit more difficult.
Is that 2 for 2 runes?
Seems to be.
I'm only seeing 3. Did one get destroyed? I guess a rune got destroyed, right?
FY, GH, Kuro all picked up one. Yeah, that's kind of it. Chalice just walks away on the top lane.
They're pinging out the ward.
Yeah.
They know it's got to be there.
Like, who can reach the high ground? You need GH to go up in 5 seconds time, and then they can get rid of X-Nova. Like, you could try and protect this. Up he goes. Instantly munches on the tango. I say it's efficiency, but GH is pretty much at full. So he'll take some tower damage for it. Want to keep my eyes also on bottom lane. Time blocks begin. Mind control's in a little bit deep. FY, he just has to hold the telekinesis. Mind control can anchor smash and try and walk it off. You already see him buying up his items. I think he knows he's kind of dead, but you've already used telekinesis. There's no TP scroll available. They're bringing in the Elder Titan as well. I think they've realized they need more to kill off this Tide Hunter. The ET stop will connect, and they're trying to not all get hit by the anchor smash. And finally, it looks like they'll bring down the watermelon. Finally, jump forward, quick style, mind control, one more, told them into the trees. He's gonna blend, he's green, he can hide.
Yay! That was probably not worth it. But at some point, the human element kicks in and you're like, we can't just kill this guy. But that took so long. I think Ami lost a full creep wave at the tower. They forced a rotation from the Elder Titan.
G8 hit that last raid. Oh, just out of range. Juking left and right. Gets away. It's a little bit of a problem for Somnus. He'll make up for it by farming up the camps. Weeha was pushing the mid lane, but FY is here to soak up some XP, and my god, does he need it. Level 2, 7 minutes in. Same for Xnova. You talk about the problems coming in for the Team Liquid supports having to be in these tri lanes. It seems like also LGD's cause having a hard time getting some levels while Weeha running down FY underneath the tower. Refraction charges aren't up, but he won't need them. FY 4 hits and he gets the kill. Xnova thought he could just get the spirit out, but there was no time for a stomp. No time for anything. Somnus rotation, Chrono on bottom. It's time to 1 raise, 2 raise, and then 3 raise. That's how we count. Weeha, this is how we kill. Underneath the tower, FY again. You thought you were back. Ooh. But you're hell and back.
That is really bad news. TPing back into dying instantly. Once again, Elder Titan not in a position to help. Weeha just goes for it. It's kind of almost reckless play, really paying off for him.
And that's a really dangerous hero to start feeding kills to.
Absolutely. He's going to even start damaging the tower right now.
Like, Weeha had to work to get his Desolator in the last game. He's now 8 minutes in, got the double Wraith Bands plus the Power Treads, and now he's looking towards picking up the double Mental Hammers to finish the job. Miracle in the meantime, going to take that tier 1 tower up on top, while FY, well, Koro, how's it look up there? Anyone else actually have a stun? No! Wow, we found the Arteezy counter. They're still going on mid. Weeha, I don't know how aggressive you can be when Somnus is back in the lane. Somnus building for early drums too. Big combat style build. They already found their 1 kill with the Chronosphere on bottom lane. But is this going to be possible again? Mind Control is getting very close to his level 6. Wraith King currently holding the point. And KT needs the reincarnation. So once you blow everything you got from LGD, I'm wondering how you get the sustain. Is it a combat style physical damage build here from the SF? Just become that huge hitter like the Faceless Void?
I'm curious too. SF is a weird hero. You can go different builds and they can all work in the right scenarios, but a lot of the times I feel like the physical build kind of falls flat because you get outscaled by other physical heroes, or if you get caught by stuns, you don't really get to stand and deliver, so you'd rather be a little bit on the outskirts of the fight, throwing raises and casting spells.
They're going after FY, the shackles around, just hold him, and I'll kill him. Weeha, now his 3rd kill of the game.
On Rubik.
On...
4 in a row in the same spot.
And Miracle's going to come to help out. 4 points up in the Mortal Strike. He's looking for a little bit more. Look how aggressive Kuro is getting. He's like, I have 2 Observer Wards. How do we feel about this game? I feel like I can put an Observer Ward between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower. That's how I feel about this game. And then he dodges the Sentry Ward that FY throws down to get rid of the TA traps. Chrono catching out too. TP support, where is it going to come? Arme starts beating into Weeha, but refraction charges are up. You've already got the kill over the Winter Wyvern. GH is down for the moment, but Arme with no Chronosphere. Maybe the song can buy a little bit more space. Liquid, they're moving out to the east, but Mind Control. 4-5-man Ravage. He hits the whole kit and caboodle as LGD. Arme has to time walk himself away. They're back up to the tier 1 tower, but they all get hit by the side blade. Now you're 8-5 plus. Over was FY. He was meant to be surged away to try and save him. The stomp. Everyone goes back napping again as Xnova runs north. He was the culprit of the mass sleep of Liquid, but they still lose the tier 1 tower. They're getting kills, they're getting farm. Also, I forgot to flag Miracle, 9.5 minutes in, finish that hand of Midas over on the Wraith King. Now number 1 in the net worth.
Liquid are in an awesome position already. When you get ahead against Shadow Fiend and you take his tower this early, the map just opens up. And Shadow Fiend is one of those heroes where dying just feels so bad. Not only do you die, you lose half your souls. You're a kind of snowball-oriented hero, so these kills almost feel like you're getting 2 kills every time. And Liquid, they don't necessarily have to keep up a super fast pace because
they can.
They can with Wraith King, but if his ulti gets popped, then they need to chill for a bit. It's not even that bad of a disaster. They're still looking great on farm. They have good skilling heroes.
It's just the timings of all these crazy items from Team Liquid. Like Miracle, I said 9.5 minutes in, he got the hand of Midas. He's now, with the killing of this tower, moved up to 2.1k towards buying that very early Radiance. The Desolator from Weeha is coming on the Courier in just a second once it goes back and picks it up from the stash. But there's still a 12-minute Desolator from the Templar Assassin. Hell, even GH is thinking all he need to do is get a Blink Dagger so I can actually get a Winter's Curse, sit at the back lines, able to change that fight up. LGD had 5 heroes practically holding hands. Even with the noise that comes from this crowd, they'll still be able to hear each other there they were that close. Bottom lane, where's your jump? They need to start with the Shackles. Army's going to come a little bit further out. FY's nearby, good time, walk away. FY's hoping for a nice steal, and he can always get one from the Wraith King. But he won't get it here. So Deso is done. If you're Liquid, do you think you could force Roshan this early on once Ravage is up in 20 seconds? Is this something you want to do with the TA and Wraith King?
I like the sound of it. I think, yeah. Use the Deso, use the Skeleton.
He's already there.
Use the Serpent Wards. Why not? It's a really good move and a good timing. You're feeling way stronger than LGD.
There's no danger from the Requiem. X-Nova is a little bit further away. The level 5 ET doesn't even have Split Up, but the Chronosphere from Arme, he's on the wrong side of the map. Now they TP to the tier 2 tower. How fast does Roshan die? It doesn't look like fast enough with mind control. He's hiding in the tree lines. Here comes the ET Stomp. Chalice moves forward, creates the wall. Roshan's already down to 1/3. And SF, Somnus. You do not want to play around a cluster position. Winter Wyvern with that curse can cause a lot of problems. The Weeha wants to go back in again. Arme is wrapping around the back. They've both got fantastic dance taunts. Yeah, you just spit on the spot, boys. Now, Chronosphere caught the nice target. Weeha in the back line. Ravage, however, from mind control, creates space, and Weeha turns onto Arme, kills him off so quickly. They can 3-5 blasts on the Chalice. He's got nothing more to give. Surge is coming off cooldown. The Hex, the Mass Serpent, Kuro trapped him up. What goes on is going to be the Shackle. The Curse is out. The killing of Somnus. Unwillingly with the Anchor Pass from mind control. All the damage is gone from Liquid. It's all there from Liquid. FY will fall. Chalice was able to run back to the shrine, but what started off will now be finished. Team Liquid, 14 minutes into this game, will claim the first Roshan in what has to be one of the biggest games here at TI9, playing for that final spot in the grand final. Liquid have been there before, they want to be there again. And there he gets into Weeha.
And it all starts with Ame thinking he can kill the TA with Ion Chill on top of himself, but it wasn't enough with the Ravage coming in. We're seeing it right here. He even gets a couple of good bashes, but that Ravage from Mind Control, turning everything around, giving Weeha the time to get off a meld. And they have just enough damage, too, to make sure Void dies. And this Shadow Fiend movement, I feel like at this point, you just got to cut your losses. This fight is over. Yep. You lost your carry, you lost your big team fight ulti. You're running into 4 heroes that still have a lot of stuff to bring. The Wraith King is just way stronger than you right now. And
you even question where you question where the fight is. Like Faceless Void is so far north. Yep. He's battling not just at the northern rune, he's battling on the high ground north of that rune.
If any one of his teammates could connect, that's a kill on TA. But it was only the Darkseer Ion Chill that he had to work with. Nothing else was helping out. And that's just not enough.
Arme jumps away, the fortification just being burnt to keep the tier 1 tower alive on top. Miracle's getting a trade-off on bottom lane. The army of the dead are fighting for Aragon. The tier 2 tower. It's going down quickly. Mass Serpent Wards are off cooldown in 18 seconds time. And this actually, if you had a heat map of Weeha, I don't think he's even had to leave this mid lane. It's just forever keeping the pressure on, always making LGD play on their side of the river. There will be a nice item coming in soon for LGD. The BKB is approaching for the SF. Oh my god, that win probability. 11 or 13%, a small adjustment. But it's still a great position for Liquid.
It feels like it was about the same that we had last game for LGD that time around. So you never know, but absolutely, LGD are in a really, really good position here. They're going to try to go for mind control.
Maybe they can get this with the 3 heroes. Wind up, let it, no! The curse GH was there. He'll stop the ball. The BTS have mind control. It's the Ravage, and everyone has arrived. Team Liquid.
They're getting desperate, Toby. That's a desperate play. They're going on a tide next to his tier 2 tower. They're hoping to start it with a stomp into Requiem next to a tier 2 tower.
And Chalice won't even get away from this one. He came for the rune. Weeha grabbed it with the invis. He didn't need it. You definitely saw that one. The panel was saying maybe LGD learned from the last international TI8 Grand Final. They were so close. The resolution, the steal had to be there. FY, pick him up. You've got something to work through. There's a sentry wall up the town, so FY can't hide and meld. But LGD, they have to steal themselves. GH, they come on! Come on!
This tier 2 tower is done. LGD, what's your play? You've got to try to do something with the chrono. I think just chilling and farming is not on the... It's not on the table. You can't do it. You're losing all your map control. Liquid is going to take easy control of minimum 2 lanes. They're taking all towers. They're going to start invading your jungle if you don't make any move yourself. And you know you can fight without Ravage right now. This could be a possible opportunity. SF has a decent amount of souls. Liquid just going to go high ground right now.
Yep, massive force down from Kuro. The push on bottom lane, you don't fear it, but now you may have to. Somnus, how much damage can you get out? Miracle already starts over on the Faceless Void. The Stomp is good. Is there going to be any kind of split to follow this up? For the moment, Weeha trapped on the sidelines. They take out the tier 3 tower. Baby getting away. A time dilation. Weeha, the cold embrace from GH. He'll hug his core close, but it's still not enough to stop the Aegis Immortal from going. But the ET splitter very much off target. Miracle's ready to go again. He's looking to jump into the back lines, but Templar Assassin never got the shield up. The curse is out. Faceless Void with the anchor smash. Actually, is maybe it's up with a gush. Reduce the armor. So Arme falls down to the rest of his team. So it'll still be a 1-for-1 trade-off with the tier 3 tower going the way of Liquid. They can look to Shrines now.
That looks scary for Liquid for a second. With TA dying twice like this, if Ame doesn't walk back into his team and get cursed like this, they could have maybe snowballed that fight and things could have gotten really, really scary. But quick curse from DH identifies the play, and the gush was actually necessary. That is not a kill without the gush. Even though it's a level 1, the -4 armor was the difference maker there to get that kill. And they're going to take the Shrine. They're not going to make the LGD mistake from the last game of letting this be here. Nope. Straight down it goes. They also have really good heroes for it. Wraith King is one of the best heroes in the game at taking Shrines like this, because a lot of extra damage, low commitment, and it's gone.
This is nice from Somnus, finally having that BKB. But it feels like Weeha's damage is getting more and more out of control. He's working his way in to his own BKB. But the Blink Dagger has arrived on mind control. Blink, Ravage is up. Somnus is farming the lane. They'll be very happy not to get the instant stun because they know the BKB's there. So jump up, they'll bait out the BKB. How much damage have you got with the Splinter Blast? Somnus, ooh, boy. That's still your 10-second BKB being committed. And what did Liquid use?
3 seconds later, they would have had a curse.
Arme goes towards mid. FY would get the Hellfire Blast. Wraith King, he's still got the second life. Turns around, tries to do a little bit of return damage into Arme. Will just time walk it off. They slow down as Liquid look for the right opportunity to jump. With Blink Daggers and all these cores, there's always an opportunity. Chrono's on cooldown for another 18 seconds. That's why Liquid are looking for this opportunity.
Look how good vision they have right now. They have this half circle basically drawn outside of the LGD base, so no matter which exit they take, they will be in vision unless they smoke. This is how you corner the map. When you've taken all the tier 2 towers, you want to try to ward similar to this pattern, so the enemy team is just feeling completely locked down. And you will get out farmed. And there's no obvious light at the end here for LGD to just wait for that will turn everything around. It's like, oh, when we get this item on Void or this item on Shadowfiend, we can turn everything around. Liquid is going to outscale you just because they get more farm. Like, their matchups are not bad enough that you can feel happy with being in this state.
The crazy thing is too, like, yeah, items are up, but for a BKB, but you're right, the Blink Curse is now there for GH. How to even reach into the back lines to find him? Like, there's so many Blink Daggers, and you're even saving an Arcane Rune. You asked for it in Game 2, Sin. You get it here in Game 3. The bottle on a core, the Arcane Rune. Mind Control even bought it after he saw the Arcane Rune.
Yep. Wants to save it for the fight.
Charles is a little bit out. The only person who doesn't have that Blink Dagger to catch up is Kuro. And with 4 Blink Daggers on Liquid, they can just reposition their team so quickly. And all LGD can do is hide inside the base, but the longer they do this, the bigger the advantage gets for Team Liquid. Of course, Templar Assassin's already burned the Aegis Immortal. Roshan may respawn in 45 seconds time. But even then, LGD will need probably the most glorious Chronosphere of all time.
There's the smoke.
But who do they get? Mind Control's nearby. He's going to reveal himself for a moment. They have to commit everything if they want him.
Oh,
he just blinks away.
They wanted to throw the Spirit out to break the Blink Dagger and then go in with Void, but he jumps out just in time. 6th Sense.
And Weeha instantly hits into the melee, racks up on top. Not exactly the most sustained damage you'll ever get, because it may regen through it. So Roshan will find the timer in 5. How about Mind Control? Yeah, I dodged the gank. I'll just stay down here now. Yeah. They're not going to smoke out at me. Roshan's going to be just over a minute. So you won't have to wait that long.
It feels like Liquid is gaining 500 gold more per minute than LGD right now, if you look at it.
Darkseer, he searched himself forward. Does he have Somnus is nearby?
And this is not even counting bounty runes. They will be in 3 minutes if LGD don't get out. They're going to lose 4 bounties as well. So there will be another move from them, guaranteed. But is it going to be before the bounty runes or around the exact time of the bounty runes? Do they want to try to get control first? Let's see, they're feeling very, very scared here. There's not barely any movement.
They need something, Sind.
They really do need something. And this smoke bottom was something, but it failed. You've got to try again. If this is their last smoke, though, they might want to save it for a potential Roche fight or bounty rune fight.
Liquid are coming under the cover of smoke. FY is coming out for rune control. It's almost a little bit closer. FY, fantastic grab. Throws it back with the rapid better from Mind Control. Clipping over on 3. The Darkseer can't help. He had mech, but even then, you weren't getting away from Liquid. Rubik dead for 30 seconds. And I gotta tell you, the big man's alive.
That could be an opening for LGD, though. I think that's not too bad. No Ravage for 2 minutes. You can think about trying to go and contest the Roshan now if Liquid start opening it.
Liquid are taking shrines instead. The TA is down on bottom lane. And while she's showing, LGD know that no Roshan's happening. Maybe this is really smart as well from Team Liquid. Like, why give them the opportunity? You own the map.
Yeah.
You own the farm.
They absolutely don't have to do it.
But unless you feel totally confident at this, which right now, they're not. Wraithing's going back up to farm a little bit longer. The Assault Cuirass is done in 400 gold. They can wait out these next item timings. It's a Bloodthorn build for Weeha as his item choice. Tide's building up Pipe for the team, trying to gain a large portion of that magical damage of LGD. As you said, like if the Chronosphere hits, you need that magical pop to get the kill. LGD come over, but Team Liquid get the perfect scan. And while we may have changed the sides of the river, it still is the same. Liquid know where LGD is. LGD has a pretty damn good idea where Liquid is. In fact, they're grouping up for another 5-man smoke.
They want to fight for the runes.
It's going to be 4. GH wasn't included. They could slip inside of Roshan here, under the cover of the Observer Wards, but if they battle for the rune, where's the opening? There's no dire vision up on the hillside. And the ET Spirit starts the scout. Looking towards Roshan. Miracle, the smoke's going to break over on him. He's underneath the Observer and Sentry. They know it. Arme, as well as Somnus. They're waiting in the tree lines. Somnus, is there a wind-up? Arme, wait, he jumped so far away, but the target he wanted was Kuro, the Shaman. He's protected. GH got the cold embrace up. It's a totally wasted Chronosphere. Weeha, he needs to move a little bit closer to get this catch over towards X-Nova. He's been that range control. Maybe Kuro will go down. The Darkseer illusion. Nope, taken care of by Mind Control. And X-Nova, the Mel Strike with the DD rune is way too much. The Gush and the TA Trap. He can't survive that. ET is down.
What happened? LGD had perfect vision of these heroes walking in, and Ame just jumped across and sold his Shadow Fiend.
And he wanted to go. He wanted to go for the Shaman. Like that was the primary target at the beginning.
The problem is, I don't even know. Like these two heroes that walk up, if he chronos them, I also don't think you win that fight because your team is already separated.
Here we go.
Here. So they walk in. The two heroes he's going to see now that he can chrono are Tide and TA. If he chronos them, they're going to get saved by Cold Embrace, and he's going to get cursed. So the play kind of doesn't even exist to begin with. Void has to try to find Wyvern, but can't do it. GH has perfect positioning, and that was just doomed to fail from the beginning. Liquid now get the Roshan for free.
Took that entire fight without Ravage too, Team Liquid. It's up and ready to go. Curse is available. And with the Aegis, the Immortal, both are in the hands of Weeha. He's got the money in just a couple of camps' time to get that Orchid flying out in the courier. But I got a funny feeling he might want to give that cheese over to somebody else. Either that or he's just going to be the Immortal TA. Here comes Liquid through the bottom lane. Top tier 3 tower has already been taken, but it looks like they'll look for another one on bottom. No Chronosphere for 28 seconds. And it's the biggest opportunity Team Liquid will probably have with the Immortal. Drop the Observe Ward, that won't last long. But whoever comes out, they know. Alright, can I get this? No, I can die. The Ravage will connect. 3 heroes caught. Instant death for Arme. And instant buyback as well. The Mass Serpent Wards will be triggered. All of this for a dire Observe Ward, which not only now gets Quelling bladed down. Chalice, back, wall, able to catch up to the ET Summons well, getting good control. But the Curse, Shadow Fiend, trapped inside this wall for the moment. Weeha's picking up the backlines. Now Summons, so much of that BKB was wasted by the Curse that Weeha and Mind Control. They're all jumping in. The Chrono, it's huge. It's called out 3 with the ET Splitter. Arme needs more damage alpha, but maybe they've got it underneath the tower. The cold embrace Weeha. They only get the Aegis to the Immortal. More must be gathered from LGD to defend this base. But Liquid, keep on fighting, keep on pushing. The jump forward, the back into the wall. Kuro's gonna be careful. He's dropping low. Same with Weeha. Doesn't have the Aegis Immortal this time. Chalice eats a shot from Kuro, will kill him off. But the revenge is there. Weeha will fall. And Liquid, have you overcommitted right now? Miracle's trying to run out of here. The Splitter Blast, it's good damage. You'll slow him down. Reincarnation comes. Kuro's trying to get back in. The Anchor Smash with the wind up. It's good damage as well as the sleep. But now Miracle, has he got enough? 5 heroes. Chalice is back to the front lines. Liquid, they're on the ropes. They're running out of here. You've got finally a death, but it's Somnus killed up by Mind Control. Miracle will finally be brought down when the Anchor Smash from Mind Control. He thinks about fighting a little longer. GH, despite going so long, the Kuro has not only bought back, he's managed to walk his way back into the fight with the shackles. Arme's held. FY, he's actually able to help create the space, but it's the Darkseer doing it. Chalice. Splinter Blast flies, the mech charges back up once more, but so is the Curse from GH. Without the TA and the Wraith King, it does feel like this push is dead from Liquid, but they still want to keep on fighting anyway.
It's a crazy hold from LGD, and they get a huge reward, 1K gold. They had to spend so many buybacks on this. It felt like it was actually only 2.
It was the Darkseer and the Faceless Void who had to buy back. It didn't get caught up in the team fight recap because that fight literally lasted a minute and a half.
Yeah, but it's because it's 2 cores. It's actually not that many buybacks, but it's 2 of the richer heroes in the game. And the return kills that they get, they're nice, but you have to find more than that if you're LGD. But you just have to settle, right? That was pretty much the best possible outcome in that situation for them.
Weeha sees the camp being farmed. He just wants to jump over on FY.
He's got to be careful.
He does. Instead, they look towards the bottom lane. Elder Titan, Fresh Medallion, Weeha just slightly misblinks. Thought X-Nova would hang out a little longer, but thanks to their sentry, goodbye Obs and sentry of LGD.
Well, Liquid can try to push again whenever they feel like. They can wait for key item. Wraith King's close to BKB.
Oh, Mind Control. He's got Nimbus Root. He's going to walk right on top of Arme. Get some good information. They didn't have an Observe Ward around here, but Arme, you just feel the fear, man, as time walks away.
He saw him in the sentry.
Oh, yes, inside the trees.
He has an Ob sentry there, so. Oh, well, he only needed a sentry, right? Because he had vision already.
Still works.
4 bounties, though, for Liquid. LGD cannot realistically leave their base and fight for these right now. They're too far behind. Maybe needs to regain souls. He's working on that right now. He's close to a butterfly. He is full on committing for the right-click build. But he's so far behind. He's a Shadow Fiend that's 4.5k behind. That's not how this hero is played. It needs to be ahead or at least tied to feel strong in the game. And they're going to need to rely on Liquid pushing and getting this amazing counter engage again once the BKBs are out.
Liquid are coming. 4-man smoke up. Rubik's going to show himself for a moment. Ravage is ready for Mind Control. Miracle's holding back just a little bit, but here comes his BKB on the courier. That should not be taken by... Oh, yep. Miracle's actually just walked off. Weeha's run in. A little bit of a split up of the cause here of Team Liquid, but Weeha with a double damage room feels confident enough going up the melee racks. Mass 7 Wars to change their focus, battling through the backdoor regeneration. Miracle will come and join in. The melee racks will fall. And LGD, they have the combination ready. They just don't want it. Not against that DD of TA.
It's always hard when the best play is to just watch your racks die. But I don't know. I think they have to try to get this butterfly at the very least, which the Kerr is flying out for, and then maybe you can find a jump. It feels so difficult because you don't really have any low commitment fight starters, right? You can try a Rubik lift, which exposes FY to get killed because he has no defensive items. Or you can just jump in and chrono. But that's almost impossible when all you see is this one TA. You jump chrono him, instant cold embrace and a curse. You jump and try and chrono the backline, you have no idea where they are. They're either smoked or hidden behind the high ground. So the options, there's like no good option right now for LGD, but at some point you have to pull the trigger and go for it.
Ame, he's already time walked into the tree lines. Mind Control's going to find him over on the corner. Kuro's moving in too. He'll be in range for the Hex, but Ame jumps away. Mind Control, Ame, Chrono defensively. His illusions are doing some damage into Kuro, but Chrono is now down for 2 minutes.
Liquid can go high ground mid right now. They have 40 seconds on the Shaman Serpents, so it will be really good timing when they get to mid. And yeah, you don't get the kill there, but the Chrono it's not as good as a kill, but it's pretty close. The Void can't contribute that much in the fights. If he jumps in, Mantis defuses someone, they're going to turn on him right away and he'll be forced out. He has to leave the fight if he can't chrono people.
Here comes Liquid. Bloodthorn is over on the Templar Assassin. Weeha, practically James Bond. A license to kill, a license to dive. And Somnus is presenting himself quite nicely. He doesn't really want him, though. He wants the back line. He's looking towards Chalice. And now, well, you do have the illusions of the Darkseer wall appeared. The range rack stops a lot of damage, but the bottom lane's still pushing in too. They've got a catapult wave. LGD, beset upon on all sides. Somnus continues to show himself.
Is Core going to use the snakes? Yes,
he does. They're committed down. X-Nova putting Miracle to sleep. Weeha jumps in. It's very hard into the SF. Still has his BKB back, but there's no wall. There's no follow-up. And back is a long cooldown time. 30 seconds at level 4. Now they don't have their team fight control. Not to mention they don't have Chronosphere anyway. 35 seconds before it's up. And once again, this feels like the best opportunity is no opportunity. LGD just had to be in the tier 4 towers. No Liquid overcommit. But Weeha, combining with the Master Open Words of Miracle, claim their second melee racks. He wants the range too. The blink away. They look towards Roshan. The timer is now up just over 2 minutes. And Liquid, they will be methodical about this. They are so far ahead. They have all the map control. And the onus is on LGD to do something. And maybe not. Miracle, he jumps in. Somnus explodes! You thought Liquid were gone. You thought you could breathe for a second. Now SF's down and he has buyback available. And if he doesn't commit it, they're up against Megas. Even if he does commit it, they're probably up against Megas. Ame has the Chronosphere available. Liquid, they smoke up themselves. They were in range of that Radiant Orbs, however.
They want to Blink Ravage the SF and end the game if they can. If Somnus gives them even a moment of opportunity, they're going to pounce on it and the game will be over.
All eyes on Somnus.
Super careful.
They see him. They're slipping in.
Yep, Miracle's coming in through the bottom. He will have a line to jump here.
Somnus, there's your jump. Miracle. Oh, no, you got the BKB up from Somnus. Miracle almost baiting it with this initial reincarnation. They burn through the BKB. Mind Control put to sleep for the moment. Thanks to the ET Stomp. That BKB is down to 6 seconds and it's down for a minute. But it's 35-minute bounty runes. There's more money to be had. Maybe they can get a kill over on Kuro. Back in again. Chronosphere's available. The Hex over on Chalice. Curse is out from GH. Space to be created, but remember Mind Control. He wants to try and find Somnus instead. He'll just get the huge ravage. Void's already down. Darkseer is trapped. The mech is up, but he's already down. See the flash of green light As Miracle stares into Charles's eyes and just ends it. Arme wants something back. Weeha able to actually now be chroned up. BKB trying to protect him. GH doesn't have that save. Been through the Winter's Curse, but he's gone through the cold embrace. Weeha can just blink away. Perfectly timed on the refraction. Miracle jumps in, kills that fly. Is there a rebuttal? There's not. Arme's already gone down. Two heroes in the long-range shackle. Kuro from the hill. X-Nova can't move anywhere. FY's trying to get the big chase done, but they're just fighting back now, LGD. They're throwing corpses at Team Liquid, trying to repel them out of their base and keep the TI9 hopes alive. As the Raxes, they will all go down. The Megas will come up from Liquid. And LGD, without Chrono, without Darkseer, SF, without a soul, they have to try and push back Team Liquid with the mass Serpent's down. The jump comes in. We's getting huge melt damage. Saunders, he's going to fall. That should be the game right there. GG! Team Liquid win against LGD. They have dropped one game in this entire lower bracket. It was in this series, but they fight back and get into their second TI Grand Final to go up against the defending champions, OG.
What a way to do it. That means we will get a repeat champion this year as well.
We will.
We will guaranteed get minimum four. Minimum 4 repeat champions this year. As the only player in the grand finals that has never won it before will be Weeha. He's been there though, but he has yet to win it. So they will get a little bit of time to rest, of course, before that long best of 5. But man, what a game to end it on for Liquid. They just played amazingly this game. I love the draft. The Wraith King pick was fantastic. It did everything it needed to do. They played the lanes well. They played the fights well. And LGD, they drafted something that was just too complicated in this game. Not to say they can't play hard things, but this lineup in this game, everything that needs to happen is just so unlikely to get the type of fights you're looking for. Liquid's way more straightforward, more options, more ways to play around the map.
As Kuro said in his interview yesterday, we're the best. He believed in his team. He picks them the solid heroes. Weeha, go ham. Mind control, go control, and just push us through to 2-1 victory over LGD.
Yes, indeed. We now know our grand finalists for the International 2019. Team Liquid, winners of TI7, go head-to-head with the champions from TI8 OG. It also ends the streak of no one winning 2 TIs. At least one of these, or one set of players, will win a second TI. In fact, the only player that now plays in the grand final is Weeha, who has something of a record, Gods. We were talking about this just off air, of lower bracket runs. He was in the OG team originally that went all the way through the lower bracket. Am I thinking right?
Yeah, I mean Miracle. Well, you mean the OG one that made? Yeah,
yes,
Miracle.
Sorry,
yeah.
Miracle.
He was on the DC team that made the lower bracket
exactly,
run.
Exactly. So he was on the lower bracket. Miracle actually won a major from the lower bracket round 1 with OG.
Yeah.
And now he's with Liquid on a lower. I mean, it's just incredible. What a journey from Liquid.
Yeah, for sure. It just shows the mental stability, right? You can just go in there, you draft the heroes you want, you play your own game, you make LGD, like you force those mistakes from them, and then guess what? You're in the grand finals now.
And it was kind of the heroes they wanted, but it was also like a trap that Faceless Void pick. They had all the answers to it. Every Chronosphere was like, okay, nothing, no damage. Winter Wyvern. We haven't seen this here at all on the main stage, and it was the